Hey everybody, in this video we're going to share our experience at Iguazu Falls.
And it was a lot of fun.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
And I'm Deb.
And welcome back to the channel. So we've got a cool one today. So this was, we're sharing a little bit about our experience seeing Iguazu Falls on the Argentina side, which was awesome.
It was very amazing.
Yeah.
So our last video, we did one on the Brazil side. The Brazil side, there's about a mile-long walkway that you walk to see the falls. Basically, you're looking out over Argentina, and it's a much smaller park. So if you only have time to do one, we highly recommend you do the Argentina side.
Yeah, yeah, it is incredible.
There's
the Brazil
way
side
more
was,
to the park.
The Brazil side was beautiful.
It was
and
beautiful.
It was neat to see those perspectives, but the
both
Argentina
if you
side
can.
is really interesting. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so in Argentina, we stayed in Puerto Iguazu. And we were in an area that was only about a 10-minute walk from the bus. So the park is actually a little bit outside of town. You can take an Uber, a taxi, or do like we did. It was $14 each round trip.
Yeah.
To go out to Iguazu Falls and back. So we did take the bus.
Yeah.
It was cheaper than the Uber.
Yeah, it was super easy to find. We went down to the bus terminal, giant signs that say, go to Iguazu Falls. It's just one set of bus that takes you out there. So
So we took the bus out there. We got in line and waited in line for a while to get our tickets, only to get up there and find out that their credit card machine was down. So we had to rush to get online and buy our tickets online.
So just to be clear here, we did not start early.
No, we didn't.
Rookie mistake, bad mistake. If you can learn from us, get up there early, get in, try to get there when the park opens because there's so much to do there. If you're trying to pack it all in one day, it's a lot to do.
We don't learn from us because it's not the first time we leisurely got up and
we took our time, took the bus out there. It was easy to get there. I don't think we got out there till about 10:30 or so.
Yeah,
right?
maybe 11.
Maybe 11.
So anyway, the tickets to get inside the park are $30 each. Once you pay for your tickets, the park starts right there. So there's no ride or bus or anything to get into the park like there was on the Brazil side.
Yeah, you do need your passport. It is important that you bring your passport if you're visiting to enter the park because they'll need to have it.
So we knew on the Argentina side, the one thing we really wanted to do was the jungle boat ride.
Yep.
So we walked into the park, walked straight back to the jungle boat ride, and talked to the guide. And this is where we should not have had a leisurely morning.
Right.
So he said we did not have time. There's inside the park, there's a train that'll take you up to Devil's Throat, and we'll talk more about that later. But he said we did not have time to do it before the boat ride, and we would more than likely not have time to do it after the boat ride.
Right.
But little does he know how much we can rush.
Yeah, we can rush.
So.
We're good at it. We're professional rushers.
Rushers.
There's a separate charge for the boat ride.
Yes.
So just be aware of it's not included in your
And
park
the boat ride
entrance.
is expensive. It was $125 combined for both of us, but well worth it if you could afford it.
Totally
it was
worth
amazing.
it. If you like adventure, if you like something fun and interesting and crazy,
it was so cool.
Yeah.
So we did have time, though, to do some of the lower level. The park is kind of divided into lower level pathways, and then the upper level is for the Devil's Throat walkway. So we did have time to walk around. And
so the boat people will assign you a time. And so we had probably 45 minutes before we had to report to the boat ride place. So we had time to go walk some of the lower trails to see some of the waterfalls that weren't, I mean, they're part of Iguazu Falls, but
now, there are, I said this in the last video too, 275 waterfalls. So you're not going to see nearly that many because there's just so many of them. But, you do, from the Brazil side, you see a lot because you're walking facing the waterfalls. But from the Argentina side,
you experience the falls.
You kind of experience
as opposed to seeing them.
Even on the lower level, we were able to get up close and personal
really
to a couple of the falls. So that was really nice.
And there are really nice walkways. You'll see them in the videos. There's really nice walkways guiding you from falls to falls. And when you'll turn a corner and you're like, oh, amazing waterfall.
Yeah, it's cool. Beautiful out there.
All right, so we took about 45 minutes and we walked around. We saw some really pretty waterfalls, and I mean, it was nice hiking trails. It was pretty. And then it came time to do the boat ride. Yeah.
So one tip we did get from the guys that sold us the tickets at the Jungle boat ride was to get down there early.
Yeah.
He said if we wanted any hope of being able to go up and do the upper falls, to be like the first ones to
First
get
on the boat,
and then first off the boat.
Yep. And don't dilly dally. He said if you want to try and do it, you'll try and do it. He said I'm not sure you'll make it, but be first in, first off.
So from within the park, you can walk to where the boat excursion basically starts, and we were like the second people in line, which was very handy. So it's these little like buses, open air buses that we took, maybe a 20-minute ride
about 20 minutes
through
out there.
the rainforest out to where the boat ride starts.
And the guides give you the whole time 20 minutes. They're giving you like telling you all about the history of Iguazu Falls and the naming of it and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, she showed us lots of pictures of the local animals that we did not see any of them, but I think most of them are nocturnal, so that's probably okay. So the boat ride. So these buses they actually will fill up several of them, taking them out to the boat ride. And we wanted to be on the first, which we were. When we got out to where the boat
launch
was
that area where they're prepping you for the launch. Yeah.
So it is about 300 steps down. So they give you plenty of warning beforehand.
Which means 300 steps back up.
Yes.
Just remember that.
Yes. So they give you plenty of warning, if you have any health issues or whatever. And well, not just for the stairs, but for the boat ride itself.
The boat ride,
yes.
Yeah.
So on the way down the stairs, we picked up yellow
dry
sacks.
bags. Yeah. So they're all waterproof. They roll down. You can put your clothes in it, your backpacks in it. They're big dry bags. So and they when you put them on the boat, you just put them between your legs and yeah.
We had actually worn our bathing suits underneath our clothes that day, knowing we were going to go on the boat ride.
Pro tip: do that
because you will get wet. So
really wet.
Then on the way down the stairs, they also fit you for life jackets along the way. And so throughout all of this, we still were the second in line, so we hadn't lost our place. So Sean had asked ahead of time, "Are you okay with sitting at the front of the boat?" I said, "Yep." So
just real quick before, so you're going down these steps and they're putting life jackets on you. They have a process. They're putting you through. Here's your dry bag. Here's your life. There's no point at which you stop and change. So be aware of that.
There was a spot you could get off.
I understand.
The 300 stairs.
Yeah, you could. But if you're just walking down and you're following everybody, nobody tells you, "Hey, here's the changing station. Go in here."
But we also didn't want to pull off because we wanted to keep our place
because we were in a rush, right? So we are literally we got on the boat and we are just taking our pants because we had our pants over our bathing suits. We're taking our pants off and we're taking off our clothes and putting them in the dry bag
and switching our shoes because we had brought our flip flops.
Because we're both wearing tennis shoes and socks. Didn't want to get them all wet. We put our flip flops on. They were all good with it. They were like, this was nothing new to them. They were like, "Yeah, go ahead and change, do the thing you need to do." So there is, like Deb said, if you really want to change and you're not in a rush like we were, you can go in the changing rooms. Just keep an eye out for them because there was nobody telling us, "Here's where you dump off and change."
True.
Or you can just get down to the boat and do the thing while they're getting everybody on the boat.
So the boat itself held maybe 20
25 people, 30. Yeah. Like it was a decent sized boat. I don't know how the boat floated after we did all the stuff with all the water, but yeah.
So we had brought our GoPro, and so I took as many pictures as I could and video with my phone. But at one point when it just got too wet, we switched over to our GoPro.
There was a point where I said to Deb, "Put your phone away. You got to put it away." We got because our GoPro has a waterproof cover on and everything. There is a gentleman who's on the boat with us who has a GoPro as well. He's going to record the entire experience. He's going to stop you at certain points and he's going to say, "Can I get a picture of the two of you together?" And so we did our little thing. You can buy those photos and you can buy that whole experience video afterward at a little like photo. They'll yell at you, "Videos, photos, stop here." Yeah. So you can do that.
We did not do that because we were in a rush to get back up.
If you keep watching this, if you stick with us, you're going to get to see the whole underwater in the waterfall experience.
And we had we recorded it on our own anyway.
Yeah.
So we went through different rapids on the way to the falls. And so it was, kind of fun. And obviously the boat, the drivers like doing the bouncing thing, off of wakes from the other boats.
Yeah. We're all waving at each other. The people in the boat over there who came out from the falls were all waving at us, and we're all like, "How come they're all wet?" Yeah,
and you can catch a boat on the Brazil side too. We did not. I don't know how different that is from the Brazil side, but the Argentina side was fabulous. So okay, so beautiful scenery along the way, and then you get right up and personal and close with the waterfalls. And I remember after we got really close to our first big waterfall. And, it was just mist. And I kind of said to Sean, was that it? Like, I thought I would get more wet than that.
She's like, that wasn't bad. We didn't get that wet. I was like, yeah, sure.
And especially because he had kind of turned around. And so I thought, oh, we're going back. I didn't get that wet. And then he turned into a cove with more waterfalls.
And we got beautiful pictures.
Yes, we did.
And then all of a sudden, the guy who has the GoPro, who's part of the crew, started putting on all his yellow waiter stuff. Like he's full on. And then he's like, "Are you all ready?" And we're all like, "We're all ready." And then the driver drove.
He drove
literally into the waterfalls.
Yes. So we got so wet. And he went in that waterfall, I think he went into twice, correct?
Yeah, he did. And the power of these waterfalls is hard. It's a little hard to breathe.
And the whole boat doesn't go in. The front of the boat got soaked.
Just the front of the boat.
So if you don't want to you're going to get wet no matter what. But if you don't want to get completely soaked, don't sit at the front of the boat. But we were fine. We're getting completely soaked.
We were in the front of the boat.
And it's coming. I had a hard time breathing. Like when
She's
the water,
laughing.
I was I had my head ducked down and I was trying to breathe it because the water was just coming down on us so heavy.
I was trying to run the GoPro
shower.
and I'm thinking, man, I don't even think they're going to be able to see anything because it's just water, solid water. But it was funny.
So then we backed up and went to another waterfall and went in
and
again.
And did it again. and this time I think he went a little more on the side so that he could get some of the side people a little wet because they thought they were safe. But we're talking, literally, there's thousands of gallons of water pouring down in this waterfall. Again, the boat... obviously
sink,
they're made for it.
Good.
We didn't sink. Yeah, it was good.
It was a very fun experience.
This was super cool. It, like I said, the Argentina side is a little more of an adventure side. So
it's a much larger park.
And you don't mind getting wet and you want to do something unique, go do it.
Yep. All right. So the boat did make it back okay. We didn't sink. At this point, again, we were the first off the boat. So we rushed up those stairs. We rushed really quickly up those stairs.
We took off our...
On the way, we're taking off our life jackets and dropping them off.
They're like, thank you.
We get to the point where we have to drop off the yellow sacks and we're grabbing everything out of it and then rushing up the stairs that way. I can't imagine how many calories we burned that day. And then we get to the top of the stairs and we had to just wait for the bus.
They won't bring a bus and they won't do in this. There's enough people to fill up the bus. They're not going to give us a bus ride for two people. So then we had to, we
just waited.
We were the second group of people up and now they were like, wow, we really didn't have to rush.
But that was okay because we were the first on the first bus going back, which was our goal. And our guide on that bus talked about along the way how to catch if you still wanted to go to Devil's Throat, which pathway to
she told us exactly which path to get to the train because the train takes you up to the top of the Devil's Throat.
And the train is free, but even though it's included with your ticket into the park, you still have to have a ticket for the train. So we had to go pick up tickets. So we booked it. From where the boat ride, where the bus took us back to the train tickets. We booked it.
And we made it.
Yep. So
we got our tickets.
Whoever doubted that we couldn't rush and get to Devil's Throat, we did.
No. But not only did we make it, we made it in time that we got ice cream.
Oh yeah, we had time. We had time to eat ice cream while we were waiting for the train.
She got a crazy cool dulce de leche ice cream bar.
It's very good.
Is really good. So, so we made the train, which was nice. It's 20 minutes about.
Yeah, about 20 minutes on the train, maybe 15.
Yeah,
I probably felt like 20 minutes because the train wasn't very comfortable.
No, the slat seats on the train, they're going to hurt your tailbone. But it's only like a 15, 20 minute ride up there. And so, and it takes you right up to the point where you're at the entrance to the path to walk out to Devil's Throat.
And this is a must do. So, I mean,
100%.
even though we did that boat ride, I wanted so much to make it on the train to get up there.
Yeah.
And we did.
And
so I was
worth it.
very excited.
So once you get to the train station at Devil's Throat, you still have to walk out to Devil's Throat. And it's a good 20-minute walk out to the point where you're at the top. Now, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
I think
gorgeous.
it's only 20 minutes because you can't help but just want to looky-loo. And the pathway was pretty packed. So
was
it's like,
busy.
it's not like we typically walk pretty fast, but we couldn't that
We had
day.
to kind of walk the pace of the people in front of us. But everywhere you're going over these beautiful rivers, I mean, it's
It was
a
very,
gorgeous
very
walkway out there.
nice. Yeah.
And then you get to the top of Devil's Throat.
And this is where we were so happy that we had rushed that day because that is not something we wanted to miss.
It is stunning. It is hard to explain. It is something that if you have the opportunity in your lifetime to go experience, you should. Just nature, I think, at some of its finest, just absolutely gorgeous. And they told us that the falls weren't even at their high. They're not even at their medium point. They're a little lower than
Which
medium
is crazy.
level.
They were rushing.
I cannot imagine what they're like at their high point. Crazy, but it is absolutely gorgeous. The viewpoint that you go out to, it takes you right to the edge of the falls.
Right to the edge.
It took me right to the edge of the falls.
Now, I might have gotten near the edge for a picture or two, but mostly I stood
with
back.
her back to the falls. Yeah.
I did not look over any edges.
It is, you're looking, I mean,
It was a little bit overwhelming.
you're looking, you can look over the rail. You know, there's nobody's doing anything silly, but you're looking over the rail and you are looking over the falls. And now, so you'll see we're on the Brazilian side, we were at the bottom of Devil's Throat. Now on the Argentinian side, we're at the top of Devil's Throat. So we can see like the observation tower and everything on the Brazilian side. And you're really able to get the perspective of how tall these falls are. So if, like Deb said, if you have a chance to do the Brazilian side, and do the Argentinian side,
They're both worth it.
man, it's just a different, unique perspective from each side of the falls. Devil's Throat was crazy cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. And so then we just did everything in reverse, took the train back down, took the bus back to the bus station.
But we were exhausted.
We were exhausted. And in our next video, we will share with you after that exhausting day that we had, what we did that evening. We still had more fun to do.
Another exhausting activity that was totally worth it.
Yes.
But I mean, that's kind of the the Argentinian experience of Iguazu Falls. Absolutely magical. Love that you put that together for us to go do.
Yep.
So if you got questions about it, if you've got comments on your experience that you want to share with fellow travelers, be sure to do that. We certainly appreciate it. Yep. So be sure to like and subscribe, add a comment if you have them.
Thank you for joining us.
And we'll see you in the next video.